Alrighty. Let's continue on. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we just finished ending A, and we were beginning Kaine's story, right? I don't know how to start Kaine's story though. Oh,
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe
hey
my
Terranekla.
mind has been confusing her with my
How
sister
have you
this
been
whole
doing?
time. Anyway,
I'm really curious what's gonna go on here. Her dreams? So this was while she was petrified? Oh man. Okay, let's see how this goes. The sound of rain filled the village. It is text. I was hoping that this was just like a an initial screen, maybe a couple lines of text. We're doing this again though, huh? The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck, those traits combined with the pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, the child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on! Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the veins slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointed firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me! A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. Oh, she comes from... I mean, that makes sense. She was living on the outskirts of it. But, you know, she's never really told us anything about her past, so... As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from the cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the action of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak! Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave, he can't hurt me. Oh look, the little freak's gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. The English translation skipped one part about Kaine here. She is intersex, that's why she was bullied. Oh, okay. I wonder why that got left out of the translation. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upwards. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts, Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. They did sort of allude to that in that last page. But yeah, assuming that the Japanese version is very explicit about it, it is interesting that the English one wasn't. Maybe it was a cultural thing back when this originally came out, but I'd assume that with the remake of it recently, I don't think it would be that big of an issue to put in. Maybe that's just me though. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her entire world. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. That's all she did was throw a rock? The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her, locking his eyes on Kaine. He took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Look at that fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why don't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Okay, so this is This was the first big shade that we fought, right? I'm pretty sure that she had mentioned that that was her grandmother. The one that we fought by her little house, if we could call it that. Don't be so nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing, nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understands? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know, because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. Dude. This is wild. So, I've always been trying to figure out Kaine. She's a very peculiar person, and unlike, I'm completely forgetting the other character's name in our party. We don't really get a lot of backstory on Kaine, though. So, we just have to take her at face value, but I've always wondered why she is who she is. And this is a really fantastic look into her character. Her parents had passed away, presumably when she was young, because she's young as it is already, and her parents are already dead. And this random person comes into a world and treats her with a love that she respects and needs, even if she tries to push it away at times. And so as she grew up, she became the person that she valued the most, that she, was her hero, which is her grandmother. And that is why she is also quick to violence and vulgar, but there's probably a little bit of nurture in there as well. This is how she learned to survive. So it's a little bit of emulating your heroes while also being the only way that she could get through these rough years. That's just... okay, I can get on board with that. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. See, right here, this is what I'm talking about. She really loves her grandmother. And I think that's awesome. So much so that she emulates her as she grows up. Here is a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad would... Hush! Interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You know what's crazy, too? Is, the way that, the grandmother's vocabulary is personified... it's the way that it comes across, the way that it's written. Her diction, her language, even some of the phrases she used. To me, it's very older Southern hospitality kind of stuff. We had the dropping of the G on one of the words earlier. I think it was runnin' instead of running. But even the hush, I'll not hear another word of this nonsense, and just generally it feels very similar to grandparents and just older people in general in my area. I certainly know people like Kaine's grandma. And so it's really easy to kind of get into the perspective of this character, I think. It's also interesting though because I don't recall anybody in the area having a similar accent or vocal delivery as I assume that Grandma has here, so. You're my granddaughter, and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. And see, man, come on. And that just makes the shade battle. I mean, it puts a lot of our first interaction with her, battling that shade into perspective. And I really hope I'm remembering this correctly. That it was her grandmother turned into a shade. Because not only was she abrasive towards us anyways, because she was so used to being a loner, but she also is dealing with this loss again, so many years later. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. They certainly are a pair, aren't they? Grandma, called Kaine. That's you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shade's been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. "Damn it! Crap." She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Oh, so she never swore before this point. I wonder how much time has gone from the first story, the first chapter, to right now. Trying to remember to drink more often than the last time we were at the Forest of Myth, and I read for like 20 or 30 minutes straight, and I was just so parched at the end of that. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. Interestingly, there's also science behind that, that swearing can ease pain. It can help someone endure pain for a longer amount of time. It releases endorphins, I believe. So yeah, the fact that she understands that you can feel good after saying that, even after something that was frustrating. Yeah, there's science behind it. This is tough. And my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village, setting down her buckets with a small sigh. She took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. Better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. "Grandma! Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. "Stop that! Just stop!" she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all." Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick. You're sick, and you need medication. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. "It's all right. I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. "I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up." The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. "I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong." She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund, older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. "Hey lady," said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. "Where's the apothecary?" The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewilderment. "How dare this thing speak to me?" she seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. "Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one." "Which way?" Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. "Oh my god," he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak?" The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. "Ha!" barked Demo. "That old bitch finally keel over?" "Go to hell, Demo." The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely in a world so vast there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. "You like that picture?" Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. "That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now." Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. "Pictures are wonderful things," continued the shopkeeper. "They let the ones closest to you live on forever." He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into the sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. "You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw." Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. "Yeah, I've heard the rumors about you," he said. "It's a small village and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother's an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yeah, I think she'd like that very much. Kaine murmured her quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. And with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she'd been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, Arya? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe, finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild. She leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horse shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheets from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner. But Kaine would not relent, and, in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, and slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter, you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face. In action, she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. How many chapters are there? Assuming we're on chapter 3 here, the third time, or the second time skip. Let's see. Kane listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Yokotaro loves the number 4 in chapters. 4 chapters and weapon upgrades as well. Oh, there were 4 during the quest in the Forest Myth, right? We had the mayor, and then 2 other characters, and then the main tree, if I remember correctly. So, okay, we're on chapter 3 then. Probably have another, another 20 minutes of this. Oh, man. I think I said this last time too, but it wouldn't be so bad if I was just doing it on my own, but I feel really awkward just staring at text during a stream. So I'm going to continue to read it because that's what feels right. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with 2 stubborn people, the relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Wait, it just dawned on me, there's 4 more visual novel sections in here if I want to see the true ending. Or I suppose, I don't know if it's a true ending, just the next ending. One of them anyways. I think y'all had mentioned that we needed to collect every weapon for ending E or something like that. Alright, Kane could not remember a time ending C, D, and E. So when we finish Kaine's story, which I'm going to assume is just visual novel, we're gonna go weapon hunting. I guess. Side questing until we can see the final 3 endings. Is that accurate? Alright. Kaine could not remember. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. I was gonna go check on the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. What a weird simile to toss in here. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn, girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. Worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't get to the Kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yeah, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hands. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in the whole world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine with a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it, what the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. Go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes and kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. Oh, gods, no. Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran there, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her. A blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time, Kaine responded with a scream of her own. You bastard, she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around her. It's you or me. Let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flame, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet only to fall back to earth with a grasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma? Hold on, just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as her foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt at the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me. It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough to make out her grandmother's hand reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma. Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! I said run, goddammit, you have to live, you have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as a terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had just been in hers a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed, then a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Finally, the game's. I gotta do this again? I forgot how to play. Dude, I got magic.
How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Only one more to go. That seemed a lot easier than last time, but I also think I have a stronger blade than last time. No transformations from replicants to shades. Oh, I completely missed that. The monster just killed Graham. Okay. Alright, let's not mess this one up again. Oh, one shot. Oh, it's easier because everything has a fixed level. So I do have all of my level and weapon upgrades from end of game, but I'm back at the midpoint. Oh yeah, I forgot about, I thought we were done. And then you were like, finally the game starts. It's like, all right, cool. And then it's not. There's more. All right. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentors the shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is going to make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt the picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognized lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled into her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh God, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? What? Your body! Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. "Feels good, don't it?" asked the voice with a chuckle. "Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body, and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade." A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. "I can see better," she thought. "My eye must be growing back too." The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. "Stop," she whispered, marveling at how she regained her voice. "Stop." The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. "What the hell, Sunshine? Way to deal. I thought you wanted to die." "Grandma said, can't die yet." A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. "That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die." Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burn itself into her left arm. "Well, I'll be damned," said the voice cheerfully. "Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now." Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. "Stop. Gotta stop." Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. "Come on, don't fight it. Hate's my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body." "Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich." "Hey, Evil. Glad to have you. We're just about done with the visual novel stuff. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead." Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. "Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back." Visual? I only see novel. Oh yeah, kinetic novel, I suppose. Also, the lack of choices, which I don't know if that's part of being a visual novel, but I tend to separate them. Even visual novels that have animation to them and characters and stuff, backgrounds, if they don't have choices, I still call them kinetic novels, just to have a separation. Maybe there's actual terminology for that kind of stuff, though. I'm not too well ingrained in the visual novel world to know, so I just have my own personal nomenclature for it, I suppose. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. "Possessed?" whispered Kaine. "Yeah, possessed. You and me. We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now." Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller, somehow. Darker. "Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world?" So, listen," purred the voice. "I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make that happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? Why, do you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrion, and if you ever need me, I'll be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrion. Count on it. Ha! I have shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. Feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I'm Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive. Stay alive. Stay alive.
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live. You gotta come back to us.
Oh, hey.
So is that the entirety of Ending B then? I was kind of hoping to get to play as Kaine, but I'm kind of assuming it's just the novel part.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Oh, we have to play
Of course.
through the whole game
I
again?
knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So,
It's called playthrough
How
for a
long's it been?
reason.
5 years.
So, is there any stuff that's shortcutted for any reason? I assume any side quests I had done already are still done.
shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way,
Collected weapons
This is
too,
for you.
okay.
Is that a lunar tear?
it's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
That didn't happen in playthrough A, did it? Oh, it did.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Even that line takes on a little
Please
bit of a
try to
difference.
understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
Also, I just realized that Kaine was described multiple times as wearing boots to go to town, and for whatever reason, she just wears heels now, which
This is crap, and you know it!
y'all said that there is
It's
an
okay.
explanation for her apparel. I'm
We can
waiting to
sleep
get around to
outside.
that.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me.
That's what I'm figuring. Any sort of narrative
Damn it.
element is just going to feel tacked
We
on
should
for
turn
me.
in.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
Very much in the same,
For the
except the
first time in
heels.
my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola.
And there would be a next
But
time.
those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village.
Oh, jeez.
To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola?
This is written really well.
In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Yeah, a lot of those lines make more sense knowing the ending to play through A, at least.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil. But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Campfires? I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, I don't remember this either. So,
Yeah, me too.
how are they out
Tried
here though?
everything I could think
Wouldn't
of
the
to
Shades
save
be
you, you know?
attacking?
I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water
He
over
kind of
you.
has an image to maintain.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid, before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Here I am, just acting like a creep, not joining my party for some after combat camaraderie.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Alright. So my goal right now is just to finish the quest line again. What is...
What might that be?
That's my
It's
question.
Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
I figured I could start on weapons if I wanted to. I just don't have a list of what to
alright.
do. I'd just be going
I
at
barely
it
remember her
blindly.
face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her.
Something I have to do but could be hard at the moment.
Reading it helps remind me of when we were still
Oh,
family.
yeah. I remember seeing that this was something I unlocked when I finished
see.
playthrough A.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
Oh, that's interesting.
Say there. Can you not hear me? Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
That's Dad
Sleeping on
Nier,
one's
isn't
feet is
it?
quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go.
Let's give it a shot. That's what I thought. He looks like the dude on the Xbox cover. Also, the voice change. This is the world of the recycled vessel created to avoid the destruction of all. Okay, that's not working. Stupid camera? Stop fighting me. What is with this music? For some reason it's reminding me of The World Ends With You. A lot more than anything that Kechi Okabe's done. Remix of the song. Oh, it's a remix. I don't even recognize it, to be honest. I just gotta keep descending. Oh! I heard the music change. Oh, we got a distorted guitar in here now? Alright, that wasn't too bad. The Black Scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. Hey, this is a Meal's house. Am I missing one? Oh no, I got them all. Remixed by Okabe, very cool. No cop, no fever. I wonder where that takes place. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death. They are legion, those who have plunged the world into darkness. I don't understand any of this. Oh, they keep giving me... Ow, come on. Oh. Well, that's kind of nice. Do they teleport up here? Okay, I think you're right about this being a bit too tough, but we're gonna keep pushing through, see where we can get with it. Am I missing something here though? This one seems to be a bit more infinite than the others. Oh, no, there we go. This is the easiest part? Oh, we got a one-handed sword out of it. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. What? Oh, Jesus, dark. I don't like this. I mean, the color's been a bit off this whole time, but... Whoa! Oh, okay. I don't remember fighting this thing. Oh! Oh, okay, okay, okay. You're getting mad. Understandable. Okay, you got me twice with that. Ain't gonna happen again. Just gotta find the pattern. The weapons are why we need to do this? Okay. Do I just keep going? Am I expected to do this all in one sitting? The black sickness stains the future, the journey to return to soulless vessels. Oh, look at this. Oh. No! Is that the end? Okay. Knowing Yoko Taro, that very well could have just been, oh, back to the beginning with you. There are 3 parts to it. How do I know when I finish the part? Dude, these controls are not tight enough for platforming. You'll go back to the door? Okay. I tried to take him with me. It didn't work. Come on. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, one of these guys. Okay, okay. I think that's the easiest I've taken one of those things down so far. Kabuki outfit? 1000 XP? So I take it that's round 1 done? Part 1? Yep. And so that would be go back to part 1, part 2, and back to the real world. Yep. Alright, that's where we're gonna go. I'll come back to that later. Combat Arena ain't exactly what I'm interested in right now.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
What's the whole deal with Dad Nier, though? I mean, is that just canonically that it was a different generation of Nier? A failed version? I don't know exactly how to interpret that. Oh, that's DLC. Interesting. But it's still part of the game. How does that all fit in? Is this what I got? Fool's Embrace? Oh, okay, so they put the inverse in. But again, is it just like additional thing? Is it more for the players? Hey, you get to play as this character from the other version. Or does it have lore purpose for changing? I mean, this is a very heavy version, but it's the highest damage one-handed that we have so far. Yeah, the story bits, I kind of figured the words in between are canon. Watch out, old man. Oh wait, where am I going?
Hey.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village.
Oh yeah, I remember this
Pretty
conversation.
much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
Is there anything
You don't
lost
need
if I
to
just skip
apologize.
through all this?
Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
All right.
I mean, obviously there's new cutscenes. But is there new dialogue that I would miss? New parts are quite obvious.
Popola?
Oh,
Look, I want to...
stop.
Yeah, You're just trying to protect.
It's very kind of.
Ahem.
Oh, you know about
Yeah, we gotta go
That's
to the
it.
Lost Shrine.
Oh,
But the
So, yes, it took a lot. I also. The ferryman. That should make.
thanks. I feel like I'm. All right.
And for the.
There's also the fact that you can see some stuff in a new light. Yeah, I'm reading the stuff. I read a lot faster than they deliver the
Path
lines.
above the entrance to the shopping.
Yeah, like the
how
lunar tier.
excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
Let's use it as often as we need. And at the end of the last playthrough, I was walking everywhere.
Just the person I wanted to see. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
What's up?
Our water wheel is on its last legs.
Oh yeah.
I'd like.
This is a wise thought on your part.
I suppose we'd all be in trouble.
Replacing the act.
Well, Brian, remember to use the canal system this time?
All right.
Find out next
We'll head there
time
when
on
we have
Critical
it.
Gaming.
Thank you. And while you're gone,
I always wonder if there's a quicker way around. Well, remember to be able to find the canal system. Yeah, I remember where it
Hey,
is.
you.
Oh yeah, dude, the
I'm
treasure
I'm
map.
collecting. So that's why.
Sure, I guess.
So
we
did
should
I
walk
lose
the
all
path.
of my active quests, or did I just never collect these? I will defy gravity one way or another. Oh, the treasure map? Alright, let's go do the Lost Shrine first time through. What time is it getting to be, anyways? Oh, 1 o'clock. Those kids aren't there. Alright.
Hey,
That red bag.
Hey.
sure has. Apparently, I did a pretty.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. Still, anyway.
Puppies and unicorns. I forgot about that phrase. I told myself I was going to incorporate it into my own speech. I never did. The quests in progress get
Lost Shrine's
reset.
up
Okay.
ahead, just past this cave.
As well as.
Let us.
So what I had finished is recorded, but if anything was incomplete, it all got returned back to non-collected status. Let's progress on Route B and then spend an hour and a half reading. That's how it felt. Wait, what? Welcome to Route B. We get subtitles for the shades now? I mean, I was kind of asking for that a couple weeks ago, but oh, yeah, because Kane can speak to shades, I suppose. But can she canonically understand all of them, or just the one within her, Tyrion, or whatever his name was? Because you'd think she might have said something while we were out here murdering things. Although she's also kind of on board with it, so maybe not. How many more times? So we have... I'm hoping that playthroughs C, D, and E don't start us so far back in the story, but something tells me they're going to. So just because she has a shade in her, she can understand all shades? Because I'm just thinking about all the times I gotta climb these stupid ladders. Oh, yeah, that's true. So Vice was supposed to protect them. Wow. And as soon as they say that, the murderer pops back in the building. Hey, what's up, bro? I did notice they were Hansel and Gretel. I kind of assumed there was going to be some sort of elements to the naming.
Ain't you excited, sunshine?
Oh.
We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
C and D are the whole thing again? Oh, the whole second part. Whether you can make a save for a quicker ending D. Oh, did I change? Well, it's only 6 damage, and the weight changes drastically. Nah. I mean, on the plus side, there's a lot of stuff that we can just kind of get through. Oh, what? Oh, wait, maybe that was the same on the first time through. It was the second time through the building that this was already done for me. All shades have reference to fairy tale. That's what I was going to figure.
This is all too easy.
It absolutely kills me that the doors open outward, and yet I have to make so much clearance for them. Oh, that one opens inwards, though. Go figure. But you mentioned that all of the leveling is linear, so I should theoretically get through this part of the game faster, correct? Much like I did with that boss in the library. Yeah, okay. And it's really just going through those 5 dungeons again. Well, not all of them are dungeons, but the 5 places. Yep.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety, Shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
So, it just dawned on me, going to smash through these enemies. Basically, the genocide only gets more efficient over time. More efficient but less willing. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely right. You see me running through everything. Part of that's just narrative. I don't necessarily want to be complicit in this, but another half is that I just don't want to do the combat anymore. What in the world? Even like these guys just going down in one combo now instead of like 5. That's not explained though in the lore, is it? That's just a gamey thing of retaining the levels. Oh, it's a good thing I came back. Oh. Come on. Oh, he can barely even hurt me, too. I noticed that we don't get subtitles for the general shades, though. Looks like it's only going to be for boss shades. All because you went Gestalt before the change was complete. What does that mean? I got subtitles for that thing I just killed, and all the regular armored ones. Did I totally miss that in my my blood frenzy? All because you went Gestalt before the change was complete. Oh, not all of them say something, but some told me to go back. Okay.
Kaine, Emil, look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun.
Don't
Fun.
waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice.
Be ready
of you,
for
but you
subtitles
still
and
don't
boss
have to stay
combats,
out here
though.
with us.
All right.
Nier.
I'll do my best to be able to read them.
You've got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine.
I've
Sometimes
noticed
we
that
sit around
so
the
far
fire
with
and
the
tell stories, or roast
subtitles the characters we have
Emil,
heard.
that's enough. I've got a fucking image to maintain.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick him aside.
Oh yeah, that was something I didn't even think about, but doing the diary levels, I don't have Emil over there helping me with crowd control. Alright. I'll come back to finish the job. But we never get to play through the first act. Oh, look at that. We never get to play through the first act with subtitles.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light.
Alright, well, come on, let's go to the light.
Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying.
Oh, Jesus, wipe that away. Stop hurting his friends. Yeah, this does remind me a lot of, I know I bring it up like every time, but... Oh yeah, Spec Ops. Being complicit in things that the game is obviously telling you should not. Well, I still think Spec Ops, I mean, if they were both PS3 games, I think Spec Ops came out after this.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad for this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You gotta lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle.
Come on.
Ain't that right, Kaine?
There we go. Oh, jeez. Jeez, that was some damage.
Kaine!
Well, at least this scene has explained it now. I get it.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Kaine!
I just realized there's no clock on this one. You're just given infinite time to do that. Okay, what's it gonna say? It's gonna pull up the old heartstrings.
Kaine! Are you alright? Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
No! Kaine!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, Sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine!
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good parallel.
It's Kaine's shade!
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Kaine! Come back!
That was so much
Oh,
harder
dear.
the first time around.
it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend, and I need you. So don't you dare leave me.
I just realized that all of that's automated.
All right. Stop crying.
I wish they would do that for everything. The pacing for that is perfect, and it's really difficult to get that similar conversational, well, for that's just monologue, but a similar pacing when I'm in control of moving to the next line. I find it wild that there isn't an auto progress. Only place in the game, right? It's for good effect, right? Definitely. But it shows that they understood that taking the control away from the player is necessary at times, and I wish they would have done it all the time.
And what is this?
It's me. It's got some kind of writing.
How remarkably useless of you.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine it's me?
I think this is the key. Here, take a... I wrote down all the words I can understand.
I was wondering if any of this had a secondary meaning to it, but I don't...
The law, the memory, loyal server, the law of robotics, but as for
Not a problem.
Because Popla and Devila both know what this is. They're playing stupid.
Splendid.
They're just shit.
It's a...
Yeah, well, Yona's an
But how...
because she... The junk heap and the fort...
Please be...
So I like that
and
too.
listen. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed. I'll hurry them along.
I'll try.
That too, right there. She was like, how do you know that Yona isn't safe? And playing dumb with all that. That takes on a very different perspective, knowing the ending of this and her role in all of this.
Popola said we might be...
Perhaps we can...
Alright. Might even be able to finish this up. You know, the more I think about it, these 5 pieces don't really take a lot of time. I might be able to grab both of these before I'm done for the day. Oh yeah, the junk keeps this way. What do you need?
Help! Help!
What's wrong?
There's this huge shade near the bridge in the northern plains. The damn thing nearly killed...
Oh.
I'm on it. It appears and disappears like the wind. You...
Why didn't I fight it last? I mean, that's where I'm going anyways, the bridge. Takes about 2 hours to clear all when you know. Yeah, see, it doesn't take that long. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so I go kill the big robot. I go to the Forest of Myth. And I basically hit X a bunch of times. I don't need to read it again. I go back and I kill another big thing, I think, at the junk heap. And there's both of those pieces done. I take the boat over to the desert. I fight the wolves. That one's done. Oh, I did it, but I did... Oh, he was the big one that appeared over here, right? I do... I will just beat this game having every map but the one from Facade. Not out of intentionality. That's just going to be the way it goes. Oh, but he only appears when you need to come back across the bridge this way, I bet. Alright, I ain't gonna worry about it. Oh, it's just... I mean, he did say that you can never know. What is the point of this?
How did it come to this?
I never even knew this guy was
I
over
sense
here.
Another inane and time-consuming request coming on. Best to just walk away while you still can.
Oh, and the weather needs to be cloud. Is that legit, or are you playing with me?
Hey there. What's going on?
Whoa, friend. Whoa is what's going on. So I ended up
So
having to work
dramatic.
on me and my honey bun's wedding anniversary, right? And since we couldn't celebrate the occasion together, things got a little heated. I want to make it right and get back in her good books.
Is there any
but
way to
I'm a
save this
little in
guy?
over my head.
Or is he gonna...
You could help a guy out.
He's gonna die every time, right? Not joking about the weather? Okay.
It'll take a hell of a present to make up for a missed wedding anniversary.
Looks cloudy to me.
I thought the same thing, so I asked my sweet dumpling if there's anything she wants. And she told me I want that thing you promised me back when we were newlyweds.
That thing?
Exactly! Problem is, I can't for the life of me remember what it was. So
This
you have
relationship
any
is just
idea what my wife
terrible.
might want? Come on, you gotta help me out here.
I guess it'd be the red bag, but it's not hers, right? She, when he died, she talked about his red bag. It sounded like something that was about him. I'm gonna guess the hair then.
Well, her hair was sort of dark, right?
Was it now? Regardless, I do not believe this to be a productive train of thought.
Thanks, Vice. Then it must be the bag.
Well, you guys carry matching red bags, right?
Red? Aha! That's it! We got married after learning we had a shared love of all things crimson, so she'll definitely want something red.
Yeah, that isn't
I
it.
remain skeptical this will lead us to something his wife truly desires.
We're so close, I can taste it. Let's see, red. Yeah, I got nothing here. What do you think I should give her?
Well, she's really big on her apples, so I'm going to assume food.
Well, girls like sweet things, right?
What, like apples? Yeah, she loves apples, but problem is
Oh, I
she
suppose that
already
makes
eats them all
sense.
the time.
She already has her apples. It's not something she would have wanted. She doesn't seem like someone who needs jewels. I'm gonna go with flowers.
Flowers?
Seems
Everyone loves a
cliche.
good flower.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so it is. Wow.
How about a fancy jewel?
Yeah, I guess she might have mentioned wanting something like that a long time ago. Ugh, this is getting us nowhere.
Can you believe she actually married this lout?
No, Vice.
You know what?
No, I can't.
Fine. I'll just get her apples, a red jewel, and some red flowers, and call it a day.
And then he's gonna tell me to
Should
get
be
them.
easy enough for me to get the apples and
Oh.
flowers squared away in seafront.
So I gotta get a gem.
But I'll probably need your help finding a red jewel. So, what do you say? Help out a pal for old time's sake?
How could I say no when you look at us with those puppy dog eyes?
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Once you
Where would
found
I
it,
even
just
find
bring it
one? I
right
don't
to
think
my
I've
home in
seen
seafront,
any
okay?
gems anywhere in this
A
game.
red jewel, is it? The strange thing store might deal in such articles.
Let's go check it out.
Oh, that's possible. Whoa. There's lizards down here. Well, that's nifty. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Finally, a reason for me to check vendors. I still have never bought any. Well, I don't really buy anything from vendors anywhere. I don't think I've spent my money on anything. I'm sitting on. Oh, that was XP. I'm sitting on 50,000 golds. This is just how I play games, though. As long as I can get by, I probably won't even engage with the system. Which sucks, because that means I usually have to bump games up to hard in order to get any sort of,
Where'd they go?
To be forced to work with the full idea of a game. Dang, man. It's an empty room. The kid doesn't have anywhere to go.
Who are you? Military defense robot, Key 33.
Oh, come on. The backstory on this boss.
Error. There is something leaking from your eyes. What is crying? Who is Mom? My creator is also dead.
Yeah, I kind of figure, but
He
still.
perished hundreds of years ago. "874 years, 10 months, 14 days, 4 hours, and 43 minutes. 44 minutes. I am incapable of being lonely, or missing others, or crying. You will die. Why will they kill you? I will not permit the humans to kill Khalil.
Why did you guys tell me to play this game?
Military defense robot P-33 will protect you. P-33 is charged with defending others. P-33 will defend Khalil.
Let me call him Beepy. No. I don't want to have to fight this boss. Come on.
Man, there's gotta be tons of machinery here.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we can actually use.
Oh, wow. Check this out. It looks brand new.
Hey, be careful, all right? This place is dangerous.
I'll be fine.
Oh, no!
Huh?
Look out!
Huh? 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 Jacob? Oh God, this can't be happening. Jacob! Jacob! No!
noise of the intruders caused the structure to fail. They should have proceeded with more caution.
That's what I said this whole time.
One intruder has perished.
And of course, it was all a misunderstanding. I hate
The
this
junk
game.
heap. Perhaps we should speak to the brothers. They might know something about this.
And of course, the only way to see the final endings is to collect the weapons of violence to make my ability to fight more efficient.
Oh, hey there. It's been a while.
You're the little one, aren't you?
How fares your...
My brother's...
Oh.
It's okay.
I need to...
What is it?
You heard any rumors? Not the little ones.
No, I haven't heard of all I want.
Just, never...
Yeah.
I recently got my... I thought you might...
Did I already have that?
Don't we already have this weapon?
These things happen the second
What?
time around.
The fourth wall breaks.
This sword is...
Yeah, it's pretty beat up.
Can you
I can repair it.
if you'll fix it?
I'm gonna need only the real... Also, here's the...
Alright. Where am I going? The fun part. Yeah. Oh, I missed another mouse. I figured I could. You're already in possession of
It's a
the...
shame about the older lad. He was but a child.
Sounds like you went into a dangerous area for the sake of the business.
Oh yeah, I know. I could have picked anything else. The myth. Although, oh. Oh, even the lizard ones. I don't need to pick up any of them again.
A large seagoing vessel that carries freight and passengers
So,
over bodies of water.
you're just having fun. He calls him Beefy.
You have taught me much, Khalil. You have helped to expand my vocabulary. You have instructed me in the ways of the outside world.
Yeah, dude, just go before I get there. Feel free to keep collecting them though.
We are friends.
I don't know why he did that.
That's some pretty impressive stuff you found. I'll start upgrading, and since you did me a favor... Well, this is gonna take no sense in you waiting.
That would be great.
It appears we have some...
Let's go to the forest.
Hopeless said
You will forgive.
So, does something else play out if I go to the Forest of Myth first? I don't think I can make that. Just the order. Okay. Ah, does not... Can I jump off of here? Nope. Okay. I'll do what I always do then. I don't think I ever knew there were birds in the sky. Does anything change with the Forest of Myth story, talking to the tree itself? Or am I able to just skip all that? Because that's going to save a ton of time. Wait, the boar doesn't spawn when you come out of the thing, does it? Apart from randomization, it's the same. Boar always spawns next to the entrance you come from. Yeah, but the boar can't come down from the bridge, so does it spawn at the bottom?
Blasted dream.
Yeah.
Truly a nightmare, I hope never to experience again.
I hear you.
Up to the rock to the left. Okay.
How are things? Well,
did you invest? And well,
we're not supposed to go by the tree. Alright, I'll go by the tree.
Why do we...
Hang on. Does that mean it'll...
Except in the desert, no boars. Yep. Oh, the randomization you're talking about. Oh well. I'll just cheese my way through it. One and three? Well, assuming those were right, it was the same ones from last time. Green and 33. Which, don't ask me why I remember that. I didn't get lucky, those were the same ones. Maybe I just got lucky and had the same seed rolled.
I just want to kill him.
With the tree, unless of...
I got lucky? No reason for them to be the same? Okay.
Let's see if the jump... That's the skill I have. Pure luck. What happens if I kill the boar again? Is it just for drops or whatever? Or is it actually worth trying to take down again? Hey! I've never seen a shade this large around here.
Be careful.
Oh! I saw that coming. Oh, you're still alive. Okay, I am obviously a bit rusty at this. Oh yeah, I can't. Alright.
Stupid trash getting in our way.
Yeah, see, Kaine
Hard to
has
imagine a shade being here.
no
It's almost
remorse.
like it was waiting for us. They can't be that intelligent.
Oh, really now?
Oh, where'd my board?
Can you
I
truly
left my board
say
back
so
there.
with all confidence? The tactics of the Shades
Gonna go
grow
on
more
foot again.
intricate with each passing year. It would not surprise me to see them setting elaborate traps for us before long.
We'd better wipe them out before they get too smart.
Did they ever set traps? Was that something that came true?
Until we take out the Shadow Lord.
I wonder if Twitch has any, Whoa! I did a second attack on that. If Twitch has any, auto-moderation for links like that. I'm sure they do. And I have auto-moderation set up for something. But that's the second day in a row, because we had somebody come in on Friday and drop a link for that too. Oh, let's go meet Beepy and Khalil.
No sense in you waiting around. That would be. By the way, what can I help you with?
Oh wait, I forgot. Forgot about the weapon thing. I mean, not the weapon thing. The letter. And merrily killing a child. Yeah, there's just no way around that. So we have to get all these upgraded or just found? Also, what's the broken one? Is that Iron Will? Holy cow, though. 600 attack. Just found? Okay. Man, that's what I want, though. Bumping these things up to the 600s. So what do we need? Giant eggs? Where do I get giant eggs? Why do you need eggs to make a sword? Upgraded was in the original? Okay, that's just another reason not to have been playing that one. Alright. Well, I thought we were going to be able to get this one wrapped up. Both of these pieces found, but I guess we'll just do all of that. I think it's feasible on Friday. The Phoenix Swords, did you kill that shade? Don't forget to... Oh, yeah. Or not kill it again, Nick? Is that an option? You keep bringing it up. Is there a way to not kill? I just forgot the Khalil and Beepy. Oh, I keep forgetting there's a boar over there.
We killed the Shade at the bridge. My daughter is dead. She passed while you were gone. Here, take this money.
Well,
I won't be needing it anymore.
That's depressing. 30K. Jeez.
You have a letter, it would seem.
He's done a lot off to...
Cracks me up. I was literally just there, dude. Which means you sent that letter a while ago. It was done. It was done. Alright. That's gonna wrap this session up. I think, well... 140? Nah, we got time to do the junk heap. We'll go get the other one. Oh, I see what you're saying now. That shade only appears for the quest, and I can only fight it on the next playthrough if I forget to turn it in here. The desire to kill BP is strong. I don't want to kill BP. Get on board. I do think I'm going to have to keep an eye on this game sales on the PS4? PS5? I don't know which one it is. And pick it up for my friend, though, who played Automata. This is the kind of despair that you have to share. Why did that rhyme?
Hey there. Your weapon is ready to...
Great.
You know...
You were going...
I need to act...
Oh,
I want...
That is a...
It's my mission. I don't care which... The ones...
A shade.
Alright.
And...
We're...
Let's go do this. The Nier games are among the few I like watching people play. I wonder if I like watching anybody play games. Outside of skill-based ones, like, you know, competitive stuff. But story-based games, I wonder if there's any that I enjoy enough. This ladder oh, at least I got off of it. This isn't the way I have to go, right? No, I have to go to the other elevator. Oh, it is? Why did I think it wasn't? Oh, the other elevators to get to the room with the dangerous ones. The quest I would have had to do to pick up the memory, or if I hadn't already had one. Dude, I think I'm gonna sit down. The Replicant soundtrack is on Spotify, right? I'm gonna have to sit down and just listen to it.
The elder brother postponed his joy for the sake of his sibling. Do you think he was ever truly happy?
Just making his little brother happy would have been enough.
Because one thing that I really like about Okabe's writing on this album is how simple it all is. There really isn't a lot of layers or movement to a lot of it. It's all rather simple compositionally, but it's so effective. That's not what I wanted. You probably get it available for download on Steam. Oh yeah, I could do that too if I needed to. The only downside is doing this rail thing. Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's not terrible though. Is no more Nier music reactions on streams. Oh, the only downside is no more Nier music reactions. Yeah, I mean you can still have me do them. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm excluded from doing them. And now I have the context for them, but I suppose that having the context makes it a little bit less like a reaction. Come on. Dang, this is the way to do it. Why did I not... Oh, I got a titanium off of that. 3 to 4 charges of Dark Lance is really good against the big bots. Where am I going? Yeah, this way. These are the flying ones. Meal will take care of these. I'll just clean up this part. This corridor gives PTSD. What's up with this corridor? It's really easy. Unless you've spent a lot of time there grinding some of the materials they drop. That I could see gets annoying real quick. Best place to farm. Yep, that's it. Gotta farm the alloys.
I've never heard of a shade living with a machine. What's that about?
Don't know, don't care. All that matters is that we kill them both.
Am I going to need to though? That's the big question I have. Although I'll be completely honest, if the game requires me to do any sort of farming, I'm gonna cheat at that point. I have no guilt for that. I'll even do it on stream.
Are you mad? We've no idea what lies below.
Beats going the long way around. Come on.
Map quest? Farming for all the quests. I don't mind doing a little bit of farming. But if it's like sit in this corridor for 3 hours hoping for 10 rare drops, I ain't doing that. I will spend time learning how to hex edit a save file to give me the materials I need before I spend the time doing the grinds. Farm 1 million gold. I remember somebody mentioning that. That's definitely not something that I'm going to be doing.
Intruder detected. Scanning. Scanning.
Let's commit a murder.
Looks like we found it.
Stop. Just pull the sword out.
Scanning. Scanning. Exterminating.
Look at the shade!
That thing is commanding the robot somehow.
Aim for the legs. Knock it down.
Take out the shade.
Exterminating. Ing. 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 Ing.
Oh, I can hear the robot. Oh. Oh, dang. Yep. Come on, don't do this to me.
Defend my mission.
No, damn it. That's a shade. It's a shade!
Kill him. Kill him. Feel the hate inside you.
Wait, when did he turn into Darth Sidious? Oh, I knew that was Tyrion, but she also noticed that something about the shade. She was fixated on that for a second. Tyrion's all about the hate. Yep.
Exterminating. Ing. 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 Ing.
Just tell yourself it's a shade.
This thing can transform?
So that's what you meant about not seeing the other animations. Dang, Kanye went right for that. That's different than last time.
Must defend my mission.
No, don't give me more of this.
Khalil. Together. BB. Alone. BB. Cry.
You stupid machine! You killed my family! Why did you have to be here? Why you? Why?
Beautiful. What a perfect example of humanity.
I hate this game so much. Bro, just stop.
Hey, come on.
Just wait, you goddamn freak! Now I can make all kinds of powerful weapons!
You'd think with that language, Kanye might speak up, but she
Just
doesn't.
leave it to me! Leave it all to me!
Look, we get it, okay? Really?
Hatred and madness will never heal a wounded heart.
Do we ever get backstory on Tyrion, or is he just a shade?
It's just all he's...
Revenge.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I have to talk to him. Oh, he ain't even in here.
Maybe Popola's found some
Very well.
Yeah, maybe she has. Let's go check on her before the game breaks my heart again. I don't even have good posture. Like, this game just defeated me. I knew it was gonna be tough.
You know, I've been thinking. Why was a shade hanging out with a machine?
It appeared the creature was actually issuing orders to that mechanical minion.
Do you think the shade had a reason for what it did?
Actually,
Look, it doesn't matter what a shade is or isn't thinking. All that matters is that we kill every last one of them.
right. Sure. The idea of a shade trying to protect a robot is goddamn absurd. Still, you guys should be careful.
What do you mean?
If the shade inside me ever takes over, I'm probably going to attack you.
That already happened once. What do you mean, probably?
That's not gonna happen. You are no shade.
The lad is correct. You are many things, hussy, but a shade is not one of them. Shades, for example, do not come equipped with such foul and scurrilous mouths.
How about I cram your face up your own asshole, book?
Don't worry, Kaine. If your shade ever takes over, I'll stop you.
You will you? Thanks, Emil.
Alright, so someone. There's a boar around here. Oh, he's over there. Don't knock me off. Alright. Let's go talk to Popla. Oh wow, that wasn't even 10 minutes. Oh wait, no, I think it wasn't 20 minutes. That's what I meant. That was short though. We'll talk to Popla, and then we'll save, and that'll be the end of today's stream. Because I don't think I can take any more right now. I didn't want to do that.
Learned anything new about the Shadow Lord's key, Popola?
You know, you remember...
That
Not so... I just got this... That's right.
You're...
Alright.
I'm afraid
What? The area, and now they've...
I agree.
You're overthinking it. I won't get their shit.
Well, try speaking...
The game's work, of course. The game is very well done, which I already knew going into it. But the game's well written. Well, I knew that about Automata, but I kind of figured Replicant would be similar.
The area, huh?
What a...
Doesn't mean I'm enjoying it, though. Alright, well, thanks everyone for spending this Wednesday with a shade genocider. Killing shades that don't deserve it. I'll be back Friday to do more of it, I suppose, as we wrap up playthrough B. And then I guess next week we start on the weapon hunt to figure that out and work towards the last 3 endings. Yep. More cheerful genocide. That sounds about right. Alright. Thanks for everyone coming out, and see you next time. As soon as I figure out how to... I need to make a hotkey to end the stream. I think that would make my life a lot easier. Alright. Take care, everyone.